Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS Current Affairs Analysis for 19th February 2021. In this video, we'll be restricting our discussion to a very important and a big article, which is Building from Below, which is about how urban local governments should be empowered and what are the 15th Finance Commission recommendations with respect to improving the local governments. This is a very important issue for the coming exam because right from 2008, after the second ARC report came out with respect to urban local bodies, the debate about funds, functions, and functionaries has always been in news. That is, whenever there is a call for improving local governance, the first complaint is these bodies did not have enough powers, that is, functions, they did not have enough funds, and also they don't have functionaries or capacities to get this job done. So, we cannot complain the same thing again and again, and therefore, recognizing this principle, the 15th Finance Commission has rightly moved in the direction of ensuring performance based incentives for local governments to bring about certain accountability and making our local bodies better. Because this is a very important issue due to the fact that the projection that 50% of the population will be residing in cities by 2050. That means we need to build sustainable cities. We cannot go for unplanned cities and expect the metros to handle the population pressure of the entire country. That is simply not sustainable. So, in this video, we'll be looking at this particular issue and understand how we have to take forward the urban policy and urban governance, given the fact that we are expecting 50% of the population to reside in cities. Basically, this forms the basis for future urbanization agenda. Building from below. This article is written by the Finance Commission member. He also happens to be the chief economic advisor for the government previously. So, in this context, we'll be looking at Article 275, which says that the central government, through the recommendations of the Finance Commission, has the power to give grants. Now, what are the parameters on which these grants are given to the state governments, and to what categories will this grants be given to is completely up to the Finance Commission upon the recommendation of the central government. When I say the central government, it is actually the parliament which will be deciding and giving the mandate for the Finance Commission to come up with the terms of reference. Also, the president, through the Council of Ministers, can give certain parameters as terms of reference for the Finance Commission to come up with a formula. So, in a way, we can say that the Finance Commission is a technical body which has the capability to come out with a formula for devolution of funds. Now, what kind of funds are we talking about? Mainly, when we are talking about funds, we are talking about something called the divisible pool. What is this divisible pool? In taxation, there are both center taxes as well as state taxes. Now, this divisible pool is talking about the percentage of money collected from the taxes levied by the center, and rightfully this money should be redistributed to the states, because it is the states which are the units which carry out these activities of day to day governance and administration. So, ideally, if we take the principle of federalism, or if we take the principle of local governance, states and therefore local bodies, which happen to be the third tier of our government, are the ideal modes of governing people. But the major problem till now is these local bodies or local governments did not have the kind of funds that they always deserved to carry out the effective governance mechanisms and ensure that the problems of the people are addressed locally. Even as per the original mandate of the constitutional provisions, local governments are envisaged to be the closest level, or the grassroots level to govern people, and they provide critical civic amenities such as roads, water, sanitation. All these basic amenities were supposed to be delivered by local governments, but the problem is they didn't have enough funds, nor did they have the functionaries who were capable enough to get this job done. So, in order to address this critical gap in governance, the 15th Finance Commission said that the government, that is the union government, should allocate certain amount of funds directly to the local government through the recommendations of the Finance Commission. So, to this effect, nearly 4.3 lakh crores were allotted for local governments, and this 4.3 lakh crores were evenly distributed across 5 years, the period for which this Finance Commission report is valid. What is the time period? 2021 to 26. So this is a whopping 52% increase over the corresponding grant of 2.87 lakh crores, which was given in the 14th Finance Commission. So this is a significant increase and a realization that local governments should be empowered. Now, what are the innovations and recommendations? Let us try to examine. The first one is a measure that encourages the scaling of capacities in municipalities. Why? Urban governance is majorly affected because of a single most important problem, that is lack of capacity. So the commission has recommended 8,000 crores as a performance based incentive for incubation of new cities for what is called as shared municipal services. So this is designed to foster innovations in urban governance and to transform our cities with speed and scale. Why? Because there is an urgent need to scale up these innovations based on area based development. What is this area based development? Different geographies have different requirements. Certain sectors require infrastructural development, and certain areas require job creation. So there is a need for decongesting these areas and create satellite based townships. That is, let us take the example of a city like Mumbai. In a city like Mumbai, people travel almost 50 kilometers from their homes to their workplace because they don't have option. The housing rents are so high that they have no other option but to move away from the economic centers to the suburbs so that they can save money on their rent. And this traveling of 50 kilometers is very cumbersome had it not been for the metros and the local trains. Even in that case, this will easily take away 3 hours of our daily time, which could have been employed in a better way. In order to address this problem, what is being advocated across the world today is to create satellite based townships. Now, what do you mean by the satellite based townships? Let us imagine a small area, and within that area, you have everything that you need. You have an office space, you have a residential space, you have simple transport which is green. Now, what do you mean by green transport in this case? Something that has net zero carbon emissions, like, say, for example, e-vehicles, the public transportation system that is run by electric or battery vehicles. Or even better is if the office spaces are within the walking distance of our homes. Similarly, if we have hospitals, if we have educational center for kids, public spaces, all within a confined geography, that kind of a system is called a satellite township. Now, the new model of governance should be to encourage multiple such satellite townships with proper planning. Only when we have this multiple townships, it will be easy for life to move on at a very peaceful pace. So this is what is being envisaged by the Finance Commission when we are talking about the scaling of capacities in municipalities. The second most important measure that was taken by the 15th Finance Commission is having a clear cut formula for all three tiers of panchayats. So we know that in state level, we have organization of local governments at village level, block level, and district level. Now, the Finance Commission has come up with a formula for devolution to each of this level. Now, what is the ratio followed? 90% of the weightage assigned is for population and 10% is for area. The specific formula is not relevant for UPSC exam, but you just have to understand the logic that devolution of funds has been hierarchically designed to reach the village level, block level, and the district level, respectively, which calls for a better coordination. And the third one is focus on metropolitan governance. The Finance Commission calls for a focus on urban agglomerations. Now, what do you mean by these agglomerations? So, on the suburbs, like say for example, take the case of Hyderabad, Mumbai, or any other metro, there are suburbs which are actually growing, which were hitherto small towns or villages. Now, because of the spread of the city, the suburbs are also getting integrated into the city, but the problem is they are very unplanned. So these census towns and outgrowths, which were previously panchayats, are slowly getting integrated, but the proper planning is not being facilitated because there are certain complex challenges. Like say, if you have to focus upon the quality of life, air quality is one such measure. In these suburbs, there are no infrastructural measures to address the quality of life, air quality, water, sanitation. All these measures are yet to be upgraded, but they are automatically getting included into suburbs due to the real estate spurge. So this is a major challenge. So for 2021 to 26, the Finance Commission has come up with something called the Million Plus Challenge Fund. So the unique point about this Million Plus Challenge Fund is it is 100% based on performance. That is, you can access this fund, or the local governments can access this fund only when they do certain recommended steps to improve the quality of life in the terms of air quality, water sanitation, and other facilities that are not available in the suburbs. So this is completely to encourage performance. The next unique proposition about this Finance Commission recommendation is imposing certain entry level conditions. Now, what do you mean by this? Now, in a lot of cities, let us even take the example of the largest municipal corporation in Asia, that is the Brihanmumbai Corporation. How many of us are really aware about the accountability mechanisms? What are the audits done? What are the parameters for these audits? How is it done? This information is not communicated to the public in an effective manner. It is simply not present in the public domain in a way understood by the common man. So, these audits don't happen from time to time across the country. We're not just talking about one particular city. The trend is similar across all the cities. And similarly, it is very much pertinent even at panchayat level. For devolving funds from the state government to the local government, the constitution has mandated creating certain finance commissions, and the power to formulate or create this finance commission has been bestowed upon states. That is the real meaning of democracy, right? Decentralized governance can happen when you devolve certain powers, responsibilities, and capacities to the state governments and therefore to the local governments. But if you take a look at a lot of states, even though there are state finance commissions, the recommendations are not implemented from time to time. The third problem is, let us take the example of any city. How do these cities raise revenue? They simply depend upon the center or state governments for their developmental activities. We also know that cities are considered to be the engines of growth. Now, why are these cities not getting tax revenue? That is the big question. It is simply because we don't have proper data. The second problem is there is a lack of uniformity in ensuring that this tax is collected periodically. The third one is the methods employed are very vague and very ad hoc. Therefore, the people who are paying these taxes take it for granted. And the next thing is, this methods being so obscure, the commercial tax collection in cities has been plagued by a lot of corruption and harassment from local authorities. So, because of all these factors, the performance of local governments has always been underwhelming. In order to address these anomalies, the Finance Commission in this has mandated certain entry level conditions. What these entry level conditions are, and the list is not important for UPSC exam, but what we have to understand is imposing this entry level conditions by ensuring that there are timely audits, that the recommendations of the State Finance Commission are implemented from time to time, and what are the measures taken for better tax collection. The state governments should present a report to the Finance Commission to make the cities better. Only when this entry level conditions are fulfilled, certain amount of funds will be accessible for the state governments. Imposing these entry level conditions will bring what is very important in governance, that is accountability. This lack of accountability has been the major problem in our cities. Thus, this 15th Finance Commission is a game changer for our local governance as far as our problem with funds is concerned. Now, it is up to the state governments completely to whether they want to improve the functionaries, that is, they want to come up with better legislations to tap these funds. They have to come up with better accountability mechanisms. And this is possible when we ensure that the spirit of cooperative federalism is replaced by competitive federalism. What is this competitive federalism? Not only there is competition within the states, we have to celebrate best practices adopted by various municipalities and municipal corporations across the country to ensure that these best practices are replicated for tapping the funds. So that is the innovative mechanism through which the Finance Commission envisages a better urban governance for the future. That is the gist of this article, a very important one.